Hey everyone, welcome back to my new video. Once again we are looking at suffixes, and I have just a little picture here showing the difference between prefix and suffix and how they can change the meaning of a word. And this also helps show why learning some prefixes and suffixes can be very important when you come across a new word, because they can help you understand it. So in our last video we looked at some of these common suffixes, such as words that end in W-A-R-D or ward. And this means in a particular direction. So you can go seaward, towards the sea, backwards, forwards, towards, anything like that means in a particular direction. Next we have DOM or dumb, and this is a state of being or a group. So you could, for example, use freedom. It is the state of being free. For a group, it could be a fandom, which means a group of fans. You know, you really support some TV show or music, or it can even be a group or state such as a kingdom, so a country. And lastly we have NESS, ness. So this is another state of being, so friendliness, stubbornness, happiness, different things that you feel. So let's look at some new suffixes today, and the first one we have is words that end in ship or SHIP, and this is for nouns, and it generally means a state of being, a position such as a job you have or a skill you have. So these are some common words you guys know: relationship, ownership, internship, leadership. So a relationship is kind of like the state of being or having a connection with somebody. The same with friendship. Ownership is the state of owning something, so you own something. Internship is the position of being an intern, so it's kind of like the job of being an intern. And finally, leadership is a skill, so it is the skill of leading. There are other skills as well, such as craftsmanship, things like that, which would mean you're very good at building things, such as working with wood or metal. So our second suffix for the day is ism, words that end in ISM, and these ones are more simple. They basically just mean a belief or a characteristic. So some very well-known words here: Buddhism, communism, racism, and maybe a lesser known word for some of you guys is alcoholism. So Buddhism is like a religious belief that people have. Communism is similar, except it's a political belief, so nothing to do with religion, but instead politics. Next we have racism, and you could say this is a belief or a characteristic, and this is like racial discrimination. So in other words, believing that you're better than someone because of the color of your skin and the color of the other person's skin. And then finally we have alcoholism. So this is a characteristic, and it means you're drinking way too much alcohol. So you can say my friend has alcoholism, or severe alcoholism means they drink way too much. So obviously a very bad thing, but it is a characteristic. And our very last suffix of the day is words that end in ist, so that is IST, and these are also a belief or a characteristic, or it is doing something. So I'll give you some examples. We have cyclist, scientist, capitalist, and elitist. So cyclist is a person who cycles, so this is doing something. A scientist is similar, it's a person who does something, so he works in science. Capitalist is a political belief, so basically like similar to communism, but actually very different, but it is a political belief. And then finally, elitist is a characteristic, so it is a social belief and also a characteristic. So you can call someone an elitist. If you call someone an elitist, it means they think they're better than everyone because maybe they are rich or they're from a very important family, and just because you are different or maybe poorer, then it means you're wrong or not as good. So guys, that is the end of our video for today. Thank you very much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for our next one, and until then, I'll see you. Goodbye.